Okay, let's try that again. Sorry about that. Hit go live. And then realized I forgot to change the stream settings, because of course I did. Of course I did. So I needed to back out and switch that real quick, and then of course I had to go to the bathroom. So, sorry. Alright, let's see. Let's get loaded in here. I am Nisey. It is Friday. It is our current Planet Zoo day. Hope everybody's week has gone well. We are loading in Tappy Feet Children's Zoo. And we are going to be picking up where we left off with our boat ride. Aria? I'm sorry if the microphone is picking up my fan. It's a little warm in here. At the moment, I got a little bit more of that orange paper that I realized I did not have nearly enough on. And I apparently did not zip the bag shut. That was almost a disaster because I almost tipped it upside down. I don't know if I have enough now. Spent most of the day twisting it while I was editing all sorts of stuff, so... Alright. Yes, I know. Thank you. Are you done? Okay. Alright, so when we last left off, we had just finished up the... Well, we almost finished the queue line on station number 1. We still need to very much finish doing some landscaping around the outside of it. Get some rock work done in here. And need to figure out what we're going to do for our exit queue. Because, yeah, that's a thing. So, I guess we'll start with the exit, I guess. That looks okay enough, I guess. Alright, and then... Oh, why are you like... Why are you so vastly different in your placement here? I mean, I guess technically you're not. I guess it's the pathway itself. What do I want to do about that? Well, I don't know. I could, like, physically swear it off, I suppose. And maybe, I don't know if this will work. It might, actually. Alright, that's not so bad. Okay. Thank you for rejoining the stream, Stream Elements. That's helpful. I was actually going to start a little bit earlier, but I thought the husband was playing Helldivers 2 with one of his friends, and it turns out he was, but then I wasn't sure if said friend was getting into voice chat with him. So I was trying to just make sure that that wasn't gonna happen, and then I got close enough to stream time where I'm like, okay, well, it's my turn. So you had your chance, and if you guys aren't, then you aren't. But then he started having a rough go of it, so he's like, yeah, no, you're fine. I'm going to be up on my feet now for a little bit. I was like, oh, okay. So you, I actually am going to bring to about there. Now, over on the other side, I didn't really worry about the ramp height. I don't know why I'm making hand motions. I do not have camera on. We tried that before, and the backdrop I had up to block husband coming in and out, because he sits kind of directly behind me, and to block the view of other people coming in and out, i.e. the mother-in-law and such. Being decided was his personal jungle gym, and decided to keep jumping up it even when he was a lot smaller than he is now. And he bent one of the poles on my green screen frame that we were using. So that's not an option anymore. And honestly, I'm okay with that. Y'all aren't here to see my ucky mug anyway. Y'all are here for zoo things. Right, because that's the whole point of why we's here. I might need to get bumped in a little bit further. Potentially. Okay. So what do I want to do about that? What? Why are you being weird? You're just straight up being weird. Okay. So what do I want to do here? I do not believe that this wall set comes in an angle. Like, I do not think that's a thing. I could be wrong. So we'll double check. Oh, it does. Ah, but the question is, are you the right angle? Helps if my hands are on the right keys. See, I do kind of, sort of despise how much that is off there. Kind of, sort of. But at the same time, it doesn't look terribly, terribly off. So I can either run with that, or kind of make something fit. With a whole lot of fussing. Hey, Zorts. How was the rest of your stream? I had dipped out a little bit. Maybe half hour after I was in there. I had to go do some stuff. So what do we want to do here? I mean, that kind of works. But at the same time, maybe it kind of doesn't. It's alright, how goes Zooming? Zooming's going okay. We are working on the station for our boat ride that took an eternity to get figured out here. I want this squared off, but squaring that off is gonna create problems. Like, then we've got the big gassy grab, or grassy gap. There we go. I can't speak anymore. The brain is mush. Okay, well, what if we do that? So we are currently trying to figure this out, and, you know, hoping we survive going to Sam's tomorrow on Saturday, and Walmart and all that. And just trying to get through the rest of the remainder of this week in as one piece as much as possible. 'Cause it's never a dull moment around here. Gotta say. Never, ever, 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 ever. Okay, let me get out of that. Okay. So these are two different building pieces, it would seem. Alrighty. I need that, though. I need that. And I need that. And there's another one attached to it. Did I? No, no. Oh, wait. Wait. Oh. Did... I might have... No, No. No, no, no. Why can't I duplicate you? No, 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 no. Okay. Can I move you? Okay, so I duplicated that piece. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Because my brain is dumb. Okay, well, we'll do it this way then. Was it one piece that you all were sitting inside of? Oh, you are very much off center. That's not good. I mean, we'll fix it. That edge got a little funky as we were putting it in. Anyway. I mean... Good enough, right? Okay, so, nope, let go of that. So yeah, it's been a very strange week. We had all sorts of scary weather. That I could have completely and totally done without. Didn't care for that one bit. I do not remember ever being in a weather situation where it was so dark at 5:30 at night that it looked like it was about to be 9 o'clock at night. That was something. And that was terrifying. And I'm like, what is happening? Our outside sensor lights had come on. And I was just like, what is happening? Cause no. Right? Just no. And we were in severe thunderstorm watch and all of the things. And then we were under, I think, a considerable severe thunderstorm warning for hail. And then they tagged it tornado possible. It just kept getting better and better. And I'm like, no, 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 no. No, can we not? I've also never been in a situation where I have heard hail that large hitting this house. That was also quite the experience. Where does this need to be? Didn't like that. It was loud. Fortunately, we had no roof damage. As far as we can tell. I didn't see anything from the grounds. We didn't have any leaks open up in the ceiling. So, like, right, as far as I can tell, we're good. Right, so that's good. But yeah, it was like golf ball size hail for us. Our car was in the carport. I don't think the mother-in-law's car got any damage. But in the middle of all of that, she suddenly had to leave to go deal with a family emergency that there was nothing she could do. And her and her sister had to leave right then and there for a family member situation. her other sister got news that her grandson had suddenly been found in a state of unaliveness. And of course, as people do, nobody's talking sensical, and they're in hysterics, and nobody's actually stopping to think for a minute about what's going on, who's relaying this information, where is it coming from. And it was originally being passed around that he had been forcibly removed from existence by some other means, is what they were all saying to each other. And we're so confused. We're like, what do you mean? Who's telling you this? Well, someone found out, and someone somehow called the grandson's sister, and then the sister called their mother, and then their mother, I guess, called the mother-in-law's sister, the grandmother, and told them, and it was a long game of telephone. And yeah, so they had to his body had to be sent to Little Rock for an autopsy because unattended death. Okay. I'm like, that could take weeks to find out that. Russell's like, it shouldn't take that long. I'm like, okay. They did find out within a couple of days, it seems, that, according to the reports, it looks like he removed himself from this plane of existence. So, with a pew-pew. Apparently people weren't, some family members, mother-in-law wasn't really all that surprised, so, you know, that's fun. So, no idea when that funeral is going to be, but then the mother-in-law got in trouble at her sister's house because this particular aunt of his, one of the mother-in-law's sisters, she has 3, is the aunt that gave Russell a bunch of shit in a public place the one time when he was, before he got diagnosed and everything, about how, and he was struggling being at public gatherings and all of the things, about how you choose whether or not to be part of this family, and, you know, like, his problems weren't real, didn't matter. So, yeah. And, her son, one of her sons, or I don't know. I don't know if it was the only son, but one of her sons had passed away suddenly in March due to a heart attack while he was driving. So her sister was spiraling or crashing out, I guess, and was like, oh, why me? Why is this happening to me? And I'm like, what about his sister? Why are you making this about you? And thank God I wasn't there, because I'm sure I would have been asked to leave. And the mother-in-law opened her mouth and started trying to say something from the book of... Russell kept saying Job, but I think it's Job. And I'm like, not the time. And she kind of, I guess, meant it to be more of grounding and putting things into perspective for her sister. Her sister did not care for that, from what I heard, and she got yelled at and had to leave and come back to the house. So, not surprised. Mother-in-law has a way of saying exactly the wrong thing and doesn't know how to read the room. I'm not good at reading the room either, but I have enough sense not to go that route. When I was told of the background of this particular person, it reminded me a lot of my brother. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm not confused anymore. So, apparently he was suffering from depression and other things, and had just gotten an insurance payout from the estate of his father passing in March. And went out, and I guess they don't have the toxicology reports back yet, but I guess he partied a little too hard, and then made some unwise decisions, shall we say. It's never a dull moment in this family, I swear. I wish there were. I'm tired of the non-dull moments around here. Could do with few less action-packed times. So, did I actually hit duplicate on that? Oh, that's not what I wanted. Well, on second thought, that might work. Okay, let me move you there. This is flickering and driving me crazy. It's been a week. And the mother-in-law did get called for jury duty on Monday. And the case they wanted to put her on was an RAPE case, and because of something else that happened in the family, she told them why she probably wouldn't be a good candidate for that. And they're like, we agree with that assessment. No, we don't want you on this case. And I don't know if it's the same case that I saw in the news where a judge just recently gave somebody in like a town over like 80 years in prison after a jury convicted him. I'm like, if that's the same trial, that jury in trial went super fast, which was astounding for this state. I was like, wow, if that's the same one, don't know, but that was interesting. And she had told them that she was supposed to be going somewhere and traveling, and we think that's why they bumped her up in the pool. They did not dismiss her entirely yet. The circuit clerk, I believe that's who it was, had said that she would still be on the list until like the 1st of May. So I don't know if she's actually good to go to leave yet. But now with the whole thing with her sister's grandson, I don't know when they're leaving now. Supposedly they're supposed to leave in the middle of the month. I don't know. That remains to be seen. If they are going to be here I guess it depends on how long it takes them to have a funeral, and if she's even allowed to be there. I don't know. I mean, her other sister that she's traveling with would probably end up going. Why are you doing that? Let's not. Stop it. Did I not, like, fix this one? I thought I fixed this one. I guess I didn't fix it good enough. No. What are you doing? That edge is flickering? Is that just, like, the sun? That might be sun. Yeah, so it's been a... It's been some days, man. But very much reminded me of my brother, so I'm like, okay. Oh, see, on that one I didn't do it. Maybe we do leave that open. And then we just kind of put one on this side. I've got to change that color, man. What is happening? It's this guy. Okay. You. What color are you? D9. Okay. Alright, so let's come into here. Is that the... Okay, that's the right one there. And man, all afternoon, I was trying to find out, or all evening, as I was having dinner, I wanted to find out the results from the Kentucky Oaks, right? The female version of the Kentucky Derby. I'm like, why can I not find out who won the effing race? Wasn't seeing any video of it. They usually run it at like 6:30 p.m. And it was approaching 7 o'clock my time. Should have well happened. Couldn't find a single thing out. I'm like, what is happening? I was getting mad. I was like, why can I not find this anywhere? Turns out I hadn't run yet. This year, they moved it to 8:40 p.m. Eastern Time so that they could have a larger audience. I was just like, what? That's dumb. That's so dumb. Your big audience is going to be tomorrow. Just have it all on the same day then. And, but then they couldn't charge 2-day tickets. Oh my god. I looked up how much the tickets were. Because before I realized I was such an anxiety muffin in crowds. One of the things I wanted to do someday was go to the Kentucky Derby in person. I thought that was going to be like the most awesomest thing ever, because, you know, really into horse racing, and when I had time to follow along and catch all of the races and everything, the pre-races and all of that. I looked at the tickets for this year. I could never go now. No, that would be way too much for me now. Way too much for me. Just for the sheer amount of humanity and chaos involved in that. A 2-day ticket. Now, mind you, it was a 2-day ticket. It was for a box seat on the ground. I believe it was on the ground. Around the first turn of the track. Now, maybe it's not that bad of a price. This was through Ticketmaster, so who knows how much they jacked it up. But it was the 2-day ticket price. So for you got the Oaks Day and the Derby Day. And it said something about non-alcoholic drinks, alcoholic drinks. I would imagine there would be a limit to that. And I think some snacks or some food or maybe like a buffet or something was $990 some dollars. They still had tickets left for that price range. And I was like, oh my god. That was for 2 people though. So I was like, wow. But you know, thinking about unlimited or included alcoholic drinks, I'm sure there had to be a limit. Didn't seem like all that bad of a price. But still really fucking expensive. Like, I could never afford that, and I would never drop that kind of money on that. I would probably only be able to afford the infield, and that would be a fuck ton of chaos. And, no thank you. But, I don't even think they had any infield tickets left. They might have. But I think the one year I looked, and they were like over $500 a person for the infield, and I'm always like, they done fucking lost their minds. That is crazy. Like, the most I ever had to pay to get into the track at Atlantic City was like 10 bucks? 20 bucks? And that was just for valet parking. We didn't actually have an entrance fee that I'm aware of. Maybe there was an entrance fee. We did have to go through a gate. I don't think it was very much, though. Because that's what my dad and I would do. Friday nights, after work. Well, not every Friday night, but some Friday nights after work. He would come home, get changed. I'd get dressed up, and we'd go to the track for the night. And look at the pretty horses. As something for us to do together. You know what? That needs... Do I have... I do have one of those. Oh, that's one of those. Oh. Well... You know what? Yeah. Go ahead and give me that. You come with me. Oh, well, that's a lot higher than this over here. But that was a lot. That wasn't even parking. God, I can just imagine how much of a zoo that would be. I came across a live stream on YouTube where some dude was in some other dude's face streaming him. Apparently he had a horse in the Oaks race, which is the female version of the Kentucky Derby. Didn't understand why they were making such a big deal of this dude, and then there was like a TV caster that was, I think, on standby in case his horse won. Never heard of this guy. I had to look him up. I'm like, why do we care? Who is this MFer? Why? Why is he a big deal? He definitely a dude, bro. Apparently this guy created... Oh, what the hell was the company called? I'm gonna get this wrong. Barstool Gaming? I'm still not entirely sure what that is. Is it a gambling site? I don't know. Maybe it's a gambling site. But, like, he was kind of like, oh, I'm gonna be disappointed, you know, and the horse had only ever won 1 race out of 7 starts. And they decided that they were gonna run in this race. I'm like, really, guy? Okay. I don't know where his horse came in. But, I do believe it came in close to last. I did not get to see the video of the race yet. Apparently the people in the box right next to his won. I guess the owners. And he like had all kinds of people there. Like they were trying to figure out where one of their people vanished to. They lost them in the chaos or something. And then they had somebody being like, do you know this guy? And he's like looking around and goes, who? He goes, no, I don't know that guy. And they're like, no, you can't come in the box. He doesn't know you. And I was like, wow, where's security? It's like, that's crazy. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know who this guy was. It was just crazy to me that you're gonna spend all that money on entry fees for this race. For a horse. That's only ever won one race. I mean, I guess everybody has a dream, right? But, it ain't cheap to enter that race. Like, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I was just like, oh, that's a choice. But I guess if you're that rich, you don't care? I don't know. What rocks are these? Anyway. Okay, that's what I thought they were. Like, no, not that one. This, like, I don't know, man. It was crazy. So, I don't know if his horse just didn't do what it was supposed to do. Don't know if that horse really had any business even being in that race. So, like, what can I get away with here? I can kind of put you there. That's probably as far as I can get away with you. But I actually got to painting this week. It's been a minute since I've been able to do that. That actually was a good time. I was glad we found the time to do that. Did a recording on that. I'm working on that edit. Trying to figure out the YouTube algorithm is wild. I don't think that's something I'll ever figure out. That's when I just... Why is that $10 rock so tiny? But this $10 rock is so big. Oh goodness, that's huge. What is happening? I'm probably gonna have to get some more of my faux rock friends here. Just a minute. I mean, it's not terrible. It's kind of funny because this isn't an actual rock, but it certainly looks like it. Oh my goodness gracious. Where am I gonna... What do I want to do here? If I could get you flat for a hot second, that would be helpful. Yeah, so I'm working on editing of a stitching project as I'm completing it. Like, I'm trying to edit a bit, then record a bit, then edit a bit, then record a bit, just so it doesn't get too much to edit at like the end of it. And I don't know how I feel about that rock. Maybe we just kind of go with something like that. I'm eagerly awaiting Planet Zoo 2. I can't wait to see what they put in that based off of the surveys. No idea when that's coming. But I cannot wait for that. I mean, I'm gonna have to, but super excited about that. Where do I want to put you? Alright, so kind of look like you should be a campfire. And I've started to record some more Minecraft. We're going no commentary route on that. And without trying, I ended up on the edge of a desert slash, what do they call it? Clay biome, which I was like, how the heck did that happen? I usually have to search forever. And I'm just kind of slowly making my way through that build. I still have to start editing that. Haven't started that edit yet, so that hasn't gone up yet on the channel. And then I've got a little bit more of Little Known Galaxy I need to record, because we are almost done with that playthrough. And then we're going to start Bookbound. Alright, do I need this in here? Alright, well, we can't see it from there. We can see a little bit from here. Hang on, I have my fan on, right? So I've got all these little tiny baby hairs around the edge of my face. And the fan is blowing them into my face. And it's driving me crazy. I guess we're in here. We'll kind of get some of these. Kind of popped into there. See what happens with that. I don't really have a whole lot for farmers market yet. I've got some things, but I don't know when we're going to farmers market yet either, so probably okay there. Oh, that is huge. Okay. What color are you? You are A7. Oh. Come on, dyslexic brain. 7A7. And you are 5A7. Okay. Hi. What's doing? Oh, yeah?
You just got a second dinner, buddy. Chill out.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Hey. The complaints department is closed. You will need to take your complaint somewhere else. I am sorry to disappoint you. That's 7A7, so it's probably that color. And I think that color. That looks about right. No. No. I done told you. The complaints department is closed for the night. You will have to take your complaints to a different window. I'm sorry. The complaints department is closed. I am not going to bed yet. Boy. I am glad that you are still being a sassy, spicy boy at the age of 14. Or soon to be 14. I am glad. I really am. I'm happy. But could you not sass me right this second? Must you? Sir. That's very rude, sir. That's not nice. Okay. We need to go have a chat with our cranes here. They're here somewhere. They're there. How many walls do we have to go through? Doop, 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 doop. Okay, so I'm using kind of like the crane planties at the moment. Just because the foliage around this is closest to the cranes right now. Let's see. Do we want to try to get a tree in here? I don't know if I necessarily want a tree in there. That might cause me, oh, well, yeah, that's a problem. That might cause me some issues, but, no, it's just been a long week. Alright, so if I were to put you there, I mean, you actually don't cause me too much trouble. Right there. That kind of works. What is that? That's black poplar. Okay. Alright. I will say it was kind of funny. I get so weird about certain things, right? So, we live across the street from a church. And they've got a front parking lot up by the main entrance. And then they have a parking lot that's kind of like on the side behind the building that we can't see. And then they've got another section of parking lot that's on like the other end opposite the entrance. And they've got a drive-through that is kind of across from our driveway. So we see all kinds of people coming and going and what have you. And it's always a weird feeling because sometimes you'll see people parked over there. Just parked, and sometimes they're like parked on a diagonal where it looks like they're looking at our house, and it's kind of creepy because it's like, hey, are you actually looking at our house, or is it just the way you're parked? Like, what's up? And then sometimes like a couple days after the fact, we get these things in the mail. It's like, oh, we want to buy your house. I'm like, is this related or is this just coincidence? And so I'm in and out quite a bit during the day. checking on cats outside, checking on the mail, see if that came yet. Just walking around if we're in and out with the dogs. And I went to go check the mail, and something caught my attention. It was like a black sign with like blue and yellow writing, like one of those like little like yard advertisement signs, like on the little flimsy wire. I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? That was not there earlier today. It stood out like a sore thumb. I'm sure if it was there earlier today, I would have seen it because we had been in and out a couple times. And I'm like, where did that come from? And I'm looking at the sign from inside the house, and I couldn't quite read it because my eyes suck. So I stepped out onto the porch. I'm like, well, I've got to check the mail anyway. I grabbed the mail, and I turned around, and I'm trying to read the sign. And I'm like, what does it say? And then I finally realized it said so-and-so roofing. Okay? And I'm like, what? What an odd place for a sign like this. For it to be... I was trying to see if I can get a willow tree in here. I don't know that I can. Let me see if I can get this in here. This might be too much. It was just kind of strange. And I'm like, really? A sign advertising a roofing business. There. Of all places. You're gonna put it on the side driveway entrance that a lot of people use as a cut through to either get to the back parking lot or the dead end side street on the other side of the parking lot. I'm like, that is so weird. Why is this here? They had not had, as far as I knew, and as far as I had noticed, any roofing work done in the past week, 2 weeks, month. I'm like, this is weird, right? Yeah, that's just not gonna work. That's too big. I'm like, this is weird. What the fuck? And it really pissed me off because usually to put those advertisement signs that's not on your property, you need permission, right? From like the property owner. And I told Russell, and he goes, what? He goes, that's freaking weird. I was like, yeah. And besides, I think the last time that they had any kind of roofing work done, it was this company. I could have swore I saw those company trucks in this back parking lot here because it caught my attention. And it wasn't, I don't know, within the last year, maybe year and a half, where they had a whole bunch of the roof replaced. Because they were out there making all kinds of racket with nail guns and everything. And it was just weird. Because I've never seen this company anywhere around here being advertised. It's always Company W. And that seems to be the go-to company around here. And I'm just like, I'm really mad. Like, I'm really, really mad. He goes, well, what do you want to do? He goes, what do you want me to do? I was like, I don't know. What can we do? He's like, well, we have a couple of options. He's like, we can stick our nose in this and try to figure out who we need to contact at the church and be like, hey, this weird advertisement showed up on the edge of your driveway. Don't know if you know it's there or if you gave the person permission to put it there. Just thought you would like to know. Because it kind of gives it a sense of, oh hey, this company G did the roof on this building. And I'm like, I really don't think they did. I really think it was this other company. I really think it was this other company. I really don't think it was them. And he goes, well, we could do that. Or we can try to contact the company itself and be like, hey, did you mean to put that sign there? Like, did they give you permission to put that sign there? And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too much. Maybe, maybe I'm the problem here. Maybe I just need to mind my own fucking business. Maybe they have permission, right? Like, they've got a lot of groups that meet there at night for, like, different programs. I think there's... My mom seems to be under the impression that there's, like, an AA group that meets there one day a week, and then, like, another night might be, like, divorced parents support group or something. They're there, like, 2 hours on, like, 2 or 3 different nights during the week. And then, like, there's, like, a youth night, I guess Bible school or whatever, Bible study. And the kids are out there from their youth program, carrying on or playing weird games in the parking lot and stuff. But, this was odd. And husband's like, well, he goes, you tell me what you want to do. I'm like, I don't know, because I feel like this is pissing me off so bad, but I know it's really none of my business, right? Like, I shouldn't care this much. But it really pissed me off, right? And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I guess we'll do nothing. That's probably the better thing to do here, since it doesn't concern me. And I'll just have to let it go, right? Well, this morning, after being woken up by Bean attacking me and deciding that everything on my desk was a snack, and had to get up and deal with him because he was trying to chase bottles of paint onto the floor, chew on everything. So, in the middle of getting up way sooner than I had planned on, and trying to become a functioning human being for the day, or as functioning as possible for me, I was standing, was I standing in the kitchen, or was I looking out the front door? I can't remember which. Might have been looking out the front door. And all of a sudden, I realized, hey, the sign's gone. It wasn't even 24 hours, and the sign was gone. And then I was even more confused. I was like, where'd the sign go? Who took the sign down? Did somebody last night get mad and, like, at one of the groups? Did they take the sign down? Did the pastor or minister or whatever they call whoever does their sermons at this particular church flavor, did they take it down? Were they mad? And I'm just like, now I have an unclosed loop of what happened to the sign. And I'm just like, I'm glad it's gone, because now that part of me is not enraged about this anymore. Where did it go? Like, part of me, like, really, really, really wants to know what happened to it. And I know that's so ridiculous, but, like, I just... Why, man? Where'd it go? Really? So I can't put mulch down. Well, I mean, I can put mulch down. I can go find it. But it's not under one of these, I don't want to say biome. Well, I guess kind of biomes. It's not under one of these filters. There's very little under these filters. Alright. I mean, I guess we could do some mulchy moves? Maybe? Maybe? Is that floating? Not technically. Okay, so like I kind of have to do a little something over here too. Okay. And maybe we put you there. So Hosta is kind of small here. So it's just been a very adventurous time. Oh, and Michael's is about to open, or maybe they did open. I don't know if they opened yet. Like, I have a few dollars I could go spend, but I also kind of need to get some magnets. And, a couple of other things from Amazon. But I also really kind of want to get some more embroidery floss. But if I get the ones I want now, then I won't know what to ask for my birthday, so... Well, I'm probably gonna need a incense refill on my birthday. My jar's getting low. I've got maybe a third of a jar left. Everybody filled in here? Kinda. I need to figure out what to stick in between these. Alright, like, what do we want to do? I don't... I'm not normally a fan of this one. Sometimes it flickers in the light on me and I hate that. Nettle? Go with nettle, maybe? Nettle always looks like this overgrown beast. And I'm not a huge fan of it. If I do the apple tree, it's gonna be... Oh, where's my friend? Where's my friend? I know. The little color of the... what do we call that? The scroll bar? Technical terms here. The little draggy down bar on the side there. It is almost the same shade as the background of the screen, and I have a bitch and a half of a time seeing it. Okay, so maybe we go like that. This is climbable. Turn that off. Alright, so then we'll maybe stick you there. You're kind of gonna be clipping through a little bit. That's alright. Okay. Get that out of there. Alright, what if we grab some new to itty bitty baby rocks? Okay, so. Maybe you go there. And maybe you go there. Oh no! You're poking through the concrete. I mean... That is a slight problem. I don't mind you sitting on top of the concrete. I don't mind you, like, poking in through the window pieces. Like, that's not a big deal. But... you deciding to... completely poke through solid concrete, that's a slight issue. Alright, and then this guy's gonna be a little bit cranky too. Let me see here. Alright, how do you look from out here? Do you look ridiculous? No, we all still look fairly good. Okay. Maybe I should, like, add the mulch in. Hold that thought. Let me... Well... Do we need to hold that thought? Do we need to? Because I can just pull from over here to come up with something for here. I'll tell you what I do want, though. I think over here we'll grab the willow tree. So I've got one there, so I think I can, in fact, get away with a big honker. Maybe right here-ish? I don't know. Maybe it's the girl in me. I always kind of feel like willow trees have this, like, romantic quality to them. This isn't a romance ride, but... they always have this, like, whimsical, magical feel to them. That's kind of good from that side. I think. Okay, and then... do I want this tree here? Or do I want to bring, like, one of these guys? Maybe one of these guys. Maybe I will bring you on over to here. Right, because you're gonna have your own little bit of lighting magic. Are you a climbable tree? You are! Okay, well, let's turn that shit off. What about you? Okay, I did get you. Alright, so that's cool. That's cool. Okay. So... yeah, let's go into... here. I'm going to take off all of our filters and go down to gardening. Okay. So I know I'm, like, kind of taking my time, but this is all stuff kind of needed to happen. What are you doing? Is that you? What's making that noise? What is making that noise? Of course, now it stopped. Was it you?
Oh, it's Peabody. Hi, buddy. Meow.
What was he doing?
He was poking around in the corner somewhere.
Hippopotamus.
He can't help it. He's our kitty.
Oh, he's the mowiest kitty of them all.
PJ, he was actually laying on my arm.
Yeah, I know. I was standing there, and he saw me, and he's trying to touch your arm to get me to pet him on the other side of you, and then he kept, like, flipping his head to the side, like, oh, I'm just a cute kitty, pet me. And I'm like, dude, I'm not even anywhere near you. Okay, that's not. Well, then it's leaking out there. Alright, so I guess we'll have to go with a smaller piece here. Like that. There. Okay, we're not poking through. Excellent. It does feel a little weird having all the little, like, indenties, though. So maybe I'll just kind of try to maybe fill those in a little bit. But then this one looks like it's out too far. I mean, I could have just done a straight piece there. But what fun is that? Okay. So, this guy, we kind of paused him when we didn't know where this path was gonna go and what was gonna happen over here. And I'm still not sure how far forward I'm gonna bring you. I'm probably just going to take you to the edge of the ramp. Right? Because we still have to do the ramp. Like, that's a whole nother project. That is going to be a whole nother thing. But, you know, at least we got to the zoo, and it never seems to fail. Our timing is legendary at this point. Doesn't seem to matter what time we go to the zoo. There is some kind of field trip there. Absolute chaos. And it's always going to be chaos when you're dealing with, like, school groups of kids. However, I kept saying to Russell, I was like, this is kind of wild. He goes, what? I was like, there's so many dads here. And he's like, what do you mean? Dads go on field trips? I was like, no, you don't understand. There's way more dads than you ever normally see on a field trip. Because, like, dad never takes off from work. So either there's a lot more stay-at-home dads now, or something weird's going on with this, right? And I was trying to do some digging when we got home. Because these groups, they weren't really necessarily behaving like school kids. they were obviously school age, but, you know, normally when a class of kids is there, you know, sometimes they try to be whiny and try to run herd on the chaperone and all that. But usually if the chaperone starts to raise their voice, they'll start to settle down a little. I literally saw one bunny quote chaperones grab one of the kids, flip them upside down, and smack their ass, which left me all sorts of confused. Because I'm like, this child that you just did that to seems to be younger than the rest of the group they are with. Did you bring your own child on a school field trip that you were probably not supposed to? Was that okay? All sorts of questions and all sorts of confusion. And there were other members of one of the groups of chaos, because there did seem to be two separate groups, where one might have been part of a school and another one I don't think was, because one set all had like the same color shirt on, and they seemed to be a little, while still unruly, a little bit more mindful to a degree, is the only thing I could say. But these chaperones, and usually you'll have at least the teacher of the class as the chaperone of one of these groups. And her group, the second the teacher raises their voice, granted if the teacher is a female or male, whenever the teacher chaperone raises their voice, the kids will fall in line, right? They'll be like, "Oh, we're about to get in trouble." And that never really seemed to happen with the one group. And then one of the chaperones sat down on a bench near where we were sitting to eat, only seemed to have one child with them that was maybe pre-K, kindergarten-ish age. And another chaperone walked by them, and these two seemed familiar with each other, or at least from the same group, because the one said, "Man, we got an hour left," and the other one's like, "I'm ready to go now." And I'm like, "Well, we have an hour before we can get back to the buses, or before we have to be back to the buses," and I was like, "This is weird, why are we talking about buses?" I think they met at one central location and then were bused there. There was no school buses in the parking lot when we got there, and usually they park there somewhere, waiting for the day to be done. And then we got home. Well, no, first of all, at like, and I'm like looking at the time and I'm like, so they're leaving at like 2? 1:30? Okay. A lot of schools around here get out like at 3. So I was like, okay. Seems a little early, but okay. You could tell the minute those kids, both groups, were gone. Or at least the majority of the one group was gone. Because that place was like a ghost town. And was about the crowd level we had expected for a Monday. It was quiet. It was like the whole park exhaled, and it was a weird feeling, but it was also lovely. Just because of how much chaos had been happening. Like, these chaperones did not have a handle on these kids whatsoever. And in fact, when we were in one of the specific biome buildings, one of the chaperones looked a little frantic, and they're like, "I can't find so-and-so." And they're like, huh? Are you sure? They're like, I've been through this building 3 times. I cannot find them. And then the other group looked concerned with them, and then both groups, like, or 2 of the chaperones broke off. The first one and a second one. And they both started to backtrack through the entire building trying to find this child. I don't know who was minding the rest of the group, or if they just forgot the rest of the group. Because then they didn't acknowledge the group, they just, like, bolted, and I'm like... Okay. And, while we were in the same building, a little boy walked past us with a piece of paper in his hand. Like he was trying to write something down or check off having seen something on this piece of paper. Because he, like, jumped in front of us, did something, and then took off again. And I'm like... Russell and I looked at each other and were like... Was that the kid? Is that the kid that was missing? And him and I are just kind of, like, looking at each other and we're like... This kid has no adult with them. There's not even an adult, like, 5 feet ahead around the corner. And we were very confused. We're like, do we say something? But the kids seemed to know what they were doing and where they were going. And so we kind of looked at each other and we're like, do we mind our own business? And then the kid was gone and I'm like, okay. No idea if that was the child or not. But after we came out of that building, we were making our way to get one last minute snack before we headed home. And, we had seen a golf cart driving real slow down the pathway. And I'm like, they kind of look like they're looking for somebody? I'm like, they didn't say anything to us, so I'm like, well, the zoo's still open till like 5 and it's like 2:30, so I don't think it's rounding people up to get them out of here. This is weird. And then we saw the golf cart again pull up next to somebody else that definitely worked at the zoo. Well, the person in the golf cart worked there, obviously. But there was another gentleman standing there with, like, what looked like a camera gear bag, but bigger on his hip that had, like, a crossbody strap on it. I think it was a portable radio because there was like a little squiggly like telephone cord thingy coming out of it. And it looked like he had a walkie-talkie that was attached to it or something. And he goes, did you find them? He goes, I don't. And the lady's like, I didn't see anybody. And the guy's like, well, they supposedly said the child was missing. And like, I think most of the buses had left. And they're like, well, did they find the kid and not tell us? And I was like, I'm not getting involved in this. I'm like, oh no, I don't even know if that kid was the kid in question. And I'm just like, wow, could you imagine the audacity of finding the child and then not telling the people that work at the zoo that you found the child, and they're still like going crazy trying to find your child that of your group that has been misplaced? Like, what the hell? Tell somebody. The ticket counter, somebody in the gift shop to tell somebody else, tell them that you have the missing child that you temporarily misplaced. Like, that's dirty. Holy hell. And like Russell and I like wow. But when we got home, I was like, what in the ever-loving hell was that madness? Apparently there was a homeschool influencer. It seems, if I was reading the right post, that had organized a day of learning for different homeschool groups at the zoo. And they were bitching about needing somebody on the inside at the public schools in the area. So that way, they had a heads up for when the schools were going to have their groups of kids there, because it was really hard to learn anything with all of these other stay focused on learning anything while all these other groups of kids were running around. And I was like, ma'am, the audacity, the effing audacity. I was like, you don't own the zoo. If you wanted it to be that calm and that controlled of an environment so the other homeschool children could learn without distractions and excitement of being in the zoo and seeing their other homeschool friends that might be part of a different homeschool group, or their public school friends that are part of this group that happened to be there the same day, and getting distracted, and kids being kids because of all the kids, maybe, just maybe, you should have like tried to see how much it was going to be to rent the zoo out for the day. So that way it was just you all. Just your group. But if you're not gonna do that, you got no room to bitch. I was so mad when I saw that post. I'm like, really? What about the rest of us that were collateral damage that had... I'm like, ma'am, did you see these kids? They were running amok. And then it explained everything. Because a lot of these kids, not all of them, mind you, a lot of them, there's a certain amount of discipline and I don't know if decorum's the right word, manners that you pick up. Not all kids. Really depends on the situation. But their behavior made a lot more sense when they seemed to be homeschool kids, because the public school kids have an expectation of behavior in the school of what you can and cannot get away with. And granted, on a field trip, some of that goes out the window because they're excited to be on the field trip. But it certainly explained the one lady picking up the one child that seemed younger than the rest of the group and smacking their ass to punish them for doing something they didn't want them to do. And I was like, oh boy. I just kept looking at Russell. I'm like, what is happening? This is crazy. Like, even when the Bible school kids group that we ran into the one time here, they were running amok in the one building, but I totally couldn't really blame the counselor because it was 103 in the shade, and she was at the end of the day, and she was just, you could see she was just barely hanging on. And she wasn't much older than these kids. She was like maybe 17? 18 at the most, and she was trying to herd them, and she was telling them to stop running. She was trying. Which is more I could say for some of the other chaperones. The other chaperones just seemed like they had never chaperoned a group ever, and looked like deers in headlights walking through there. They had no command. Some of them did. I think the one that was like, where are all my ducks? She like paired everybody off into pairs, and she had one chaperone of her group walking at the end of the line, and I think she was at the end of the line, and then she had a different chaperone walking at the front of the line. So she's like, no, I'm walking behind all of you, to make sure she had all of her kids. And I'm like, you've done this before. Wow. Good job. Like, I meant it. I was like, wow. Okay, she knows what she's doing. That might have been the school group. I kid you not. With that many kids, if I had a small one, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, and you can have your own opinions on this, but Russell and I had talked about this at length. If we ever had a child, and we were someplace busy, like real busy, lots of other people, lots of other kids, just chaos all around us, we were not beyond putting a backpack harness thing on our child so that we could keep track of our child and have them, you know, you can wander a few steps away, but you're not going that far from us and getting lost. You know, Like, I want to be attached to you. You don't have to hold my hand the entire time, but I am holding something that's attached to your body so you can't get lost in the chaos. When it's this chaotic. There were 2 young toddlers there that had backpacks with, like, the little harness leashes attached to the backpack so the parent could hold on to them so the kid could still feel somewhat independent, but parent knew where child was, especially in these times and places. Fine. Awesome. Except the children were not wearing the backpacks 2/3 of the time. They kept taking them off and putting them on the ground. And the parent, the little, like, leashy attachment wrist things for the parent to grab onto were, like, stuffed in the backpack and half hanging out of them. I'm like, what is the point? Why? Why did you even bother? Why did you bring this? Do you see the sea of chaos happening? It was crazy. I'm like, oh no, this is totally one of those times where that child is going to be attached to me in some way, shape, or form, at least during the large groups walking past us. Like, hell no. Just so many of the chaperones were like, oh my god, are we done yet? And they're like, no, we still have 2 hours to go. And they're like, I can't walk around in here another 2 hours. I'm like, wow. I'm like, you're new at this, aren't you? School chaperoning, whether it's public school or homeschool, is not for the faint of heart, my friends. It is not. It is ruthless out here. Just like, holy cow. Plus the zoo, to add more chaos, is under a lot of construction. They're redoing several areas. Their, like, entire Africa area is being redone. They just finished their elephant preserve, so now they're working on redoing the habitat for the lions and the meerkats, and they're adding the zebras in. They had them at one time, but they've just got them back, or they're going to be getting them back. And then they're adding, like, a new concession stand, and just, there's a lot of chaos going on in there right now. They've got certain pathways that are one direction only, where you, like, end up in a little cul-de-sac and you have to turn around and come back the way you came. There was another section of pathway that just was closed, and they didn't have a sign posted at the beginning of the way down that pathway stating it was closed. So some of the families, or the chaperone groups, had gotten, that actually might have been an individual person there with her 2 kids. Like, she started to come back down the pathway towards where all the other people are. She's like, the pathway's closed up there. I don't know why. There's no sign down here. So, I was like, oh, that's helpful. So then we had to turn around and go back the way. Oh wait, no, this is not supposed to be that. Did I just hear yelling? Did I just hear yelling? What is that? Is that sirens? I thought I heard something that seemed out of place suddenly. Weird. There is a basketball net in the parking lot across the street from us that they use a lot for the youth nights 1 day a week over at this church. And some days there are groups out there using it that are so incredibly loud. They'll be out there at like 10 o'clock at night yelling and carrying on, and I'm just like, why? Is this a thing for this time of night? I don't know. So, oh good. Revy engine guy is down the street revving their engine. Yeah, right on time too. Right on time. Because when you're sound sensitive and you suddenly hear noises that you don't normally hear, you take notice of when you're hearing those noises and what times they are happening. And don't you know, they are right on time tonight. There is a coin car wash down the street from us. And for a couple of years now, although they didn't do it for a little while, so I'm wondering if maybe their work schedule had changed or if maybe they had been indisposed and couldn't make it to do so, but for the past several years, I want to say since COVID, around this time at night, this one particular vehicle, because we saw the one vehicle that was doing it at one point when we were out for a walk at this time of night, pulls into the concrete cinder block car wash bays, specifically revs their engine several times over the course of like 15-20 minutes, and then leaves. They don't wash their car. They don't really do much of anything aside from that. Except make themselves a complete and utter nuisance. So that's fun. But you know, small town politics. I'm sure they know somebody that knows somebody, so they'll never, ever, ever, ever get in trouble for being a nuisance. Plus, they're doing it right before supposed quiet time. And noise ordinances kick in anyway. So, you know, there's that. Could I use a slightly different shaped guy in here? I could. Will I? Probably not. Though it seems our town is forcing everybody by the end of the year to switch over to a special trash can that has the city name on the side of it and has a trash truck like lift bar on the side of it. And if you have any trash that doesn't fit in your can, they won't take it. It must be in the can. And then we have to buy the trash can. These trash cans are not inexpensive. Depending on the size that you get. I believe the cheapest trash can was like $85 for one. And once you buy it, it's yours. I'm like, yeah, okay, but if you ever leave this town, you can't take it with you because the next city you move to isn't going to, let you use that because they're gonna have their own city trash can that you're going to have to use. What happened to the days of just going to the hardware store and just getting some dumb fuck trash can and putting your trash bags in it? No, no. The city can't make money that way. The system at the moment, for the remainder of the year, you have the option to buy city trash bags or this trash can. The trash bags are $5 a box, and the strings for the trash bag snap every time one goes to tie the bag off. Every fucking time. So while we're glad we'll be able to use decent trash bags, we're not happy that I think the trash can that we will need to get is their largest one they have. Damn it. And that, I believe, might be about $125 for just the trash can. We then have to pay an elevated sewer rate because our trash pickup is tied into the sewer rate. Because we're not paying for bags anymore? Or some ridiculous shit? And I'm just like, what? I'm sorry. So not only do we have to spend this ridiculous amount of money on a trash can that we technically can't really do anything with if we leave here, because it has the city's name printed on the side of it. We then have to pay a higher monthly fee for trash pickup. Okay. Nothing. And our only other option is to take the trash to the dump ourselves, which would be a minimum, the last time we did this, it may have gone up since then, of $10 between weight X and weight Z. That's gonna add up real fast. And I'm just like, oh my god, why? Why is this so dumb? This is so dumb. This is ridiculous at this point. Do what do I want to do here? Oh, there's the car that thinks it's a race car. That goes by a couple times a day. It was not a crotch rocket motorcycle either. There's a couple of times where I thought it was. Turned out, no. No, that's actually someone's car. Okay. You bet. Where's my lights? I don't realize I had them all the way down here. Like, that car sounds very similar to, like, the Yamaha motorbikes. Oh, shit. That, would be weaving through traffic back home, giving people heart attacks as they're, like, splitting lanes and doing everything they're not supposed to and, like, gunning it to, like, 100 on the expressway. For the moment, I'm gonna pop you there. There was something else I was like, oh, I need to do X still. Oh, I never made the wagon parking. God damn it. I forgot I wanted to do that. Alright, well, that'll fill in some of that extra space over there. Okay, it's probably like trash can overkill. But I'll tell you what, I would rather have more than not enough. I kind of want you to be there though. But if we maybe put you there. You I'm gonna temporarily get rid of. Okay. Alright, now before I deal with that, because I forgot all about that. I'm gonna take the lighting down here for a minute. So, if you are sensitive to anything like that, you're gonna want to look away. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, so lighting is in dark mode now. So feel free to look back. Just kind of getting some landscape lighting in here. Okay. I need you. You need to be adjusted. Okay. Alright, what way are you saying? Okay. Now, here's the question. Do I want you, like, out here? I think I kind of do. Right, so we'll put you there. And we're gonna need another one of you. Say here. Okay. And then Peanut, what are you doing? Yeah, what are you doing? Well, don't do that. Because I said so. Because it sounded like you were destroying something. And I can't see what you're doing. I can only hear what you're doing. So don't do that. Okay? Well, I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. Yeah. Alright, so you... Bean is becoming very chatty in the morning. When it's chaos o'clock. Because the past couple of mornings, he has been doing these little baby beanie battle cries. It's the only way I can describe it. When he comes into our room and can't decide what fate his chosen item is about to meet. Well, at least you kinda gave me what I was looking for. Not fully, but kind of. He like has a chirpy kind of meow. It's kind of hard to describe. I've never heard a cat meow like this. He like puts some like extra clicks into his meow where he's like meow. And I'm like, okay, buddy. And usually when you hear that one specific meow, you know it's about to be a bad time or something or someone. It's time for things to be destroyed. Oh, well, that's not what I wanted. That's just a complete mess. Oh no. Oh my god, that guy is still revving his engine. Why? That is so obnoxious. Oh. Ah, finally. This is not Talladega. This is not a midget car track. You are not a Formula One driver. Please stop. It's like nails on a chalkboard. It is so loud because it's being amplified by the brick surrounding it. Where do I want to put you? I could just like have you floating up in the air. Because that'll give it... Okay, that triggered my microphone. That's the idiot that's been revving their car or truck. It might actually be a pickup truck in the car wash space. That was so unnecessary. Really, guy? Holy cow. Where's the little... There it is. Okay, so we need... some lighting in here. And there. And there. And there. Okay, so here's the thing. Do I want it to be like back here? Or do I want it to be like up here? Maybe in the middle here? Is it too bright? Is it too many? I mean, it has to be a certain level of light, right? Because people need to be able to see. Like, I'm okay with that. Kind of see coming in here. Alright, not bad. Okay. Really? You're gonna make me go all the way out. Okay, so that is just the exit queue. Alright, that should be fine. And technically not to the to lighting this section yet. That's a pretty little glow there. Okay. Okay. Now we need to do the other side of the queue. So for starters, this guy, all sorts of... Why did that not light? Oh no. Is that a dead zone? Are you kidding? That little tiny triangle? Oh my god! For real? Oh shit. What?
Check the settings for your generator, because you may be able to expand it in exchange for having to maintain it more often.
It's maxed.
Ah, oh, sorry.
I think it's max. Every year. Every month. What do you mean? How would I make it larger?
It's in the settings somewhere. It's been a long time. Of course, they may not actually do that. I mean, like I said, it has been a very long time. Go to the next
Is it like
tab.
game settings or is it the settings on the item?
Settings on the item, I thought. Okay, go to the third. Oh, send a mechanic and see if it expands after they fix it. Because I think the maintenance determines how wide it goes. So it may have actually been in radius previously, but because it degraded a certain amount, the radius shrunk.
I don't know, that looks like the... Where are you going, guy?
It's already filled. It's
Yeah,
back up. It's back up.
no.
Yeah. Sorry.
What am I gonna do? Huh?
Get good.
I mean, I can't put one... there. Eh, um... Have one here. how badly is that going to... It kind of works. What about I hate everything about you? Okay, so that's within range. That there. So that would be like the tiniest sliver. We can probably get away with that. Okay. You need to be... Wait! No. No. I told you to go there. Did I hit the... Oh, maybe I hit the X instead of the check mark. Damn it. Alright. Peabot, what are you doing? Why does it sound like you're destroying something? Should I be concerned, my guy? What are you doing? Okay. I need to figure out whose work zone I'm gonna put you on. What work zone are you part of? Do I have a... Okay. That should be part of that one. Alright, so... Okay, that's lit. Alright, that problem's been dealt with. Cool. Okay. One crisis averted. Not really a crisis, though. Just more of like a... pain in the poodle. Okay. Whoop, too far. So these lights, yeah, they're just gonna be like floating. That's fine. That's fine. Like that's okay. It'll be just between us. Wasn't sure where all I was at here. Sometimes I probably do go a little... No. Sometimes I probably do go a little light. Heavy. But I've also been in like these spots and places where it feels kind of dark and mysterious and it's supposed to be, but I can't see a thing. There's a particular building at Tulsa Zoo, where they have it like where they like try to make you feel like you're going through a cave, except it is so dark, and they've got like the wall bumped out in sections, and what lighting they do have in that particular spot is so dim, I can't see. And when I'm trying to push my mom's wheelchair and not run her into the edge of the walls and stuff, it's extremely difficult. Because they also like close the walls in a little bit on you right there. I have to have the husband whip out his phone. And in fact, the flashlight on his phone did not feel bright enough the last time we did that. It still felt dark, and I still was having a really hard time seeing. I couldn't even tell that he had his flashlight on until he like held it closer to the ground. I was like, oh boy. Next time maybe I'll just bring my flashlight. It's like, I need a seeing eye human through this section. It is much too dark for my terrible, terrible vision. And then just to make sure that we can actually see. Okay. Definitely makes the dangly doos have this like kind of fun little mysticky glow about it. Okay. So that is not super dark now. Cool. You, my friend, I can get rid of you. Actually, no, I still needed that, didn't I? Yeah, I kind of still did need that. But you know what? I got another one. We still have to make a sign for this ride. Which I just realized I have not done yet. Never enough time. With the Zoo of Planets here. Never enough. Okay, so you. Just kind of putting you bottom area. So this side, you're not really shaped the same way. Like, that's okay. The end bits can be a little bit different. Okay, we're gonna flip this. Ugh. We are going to straighten that guy out. Now, we are going to grab the proper color and flip it. Right. Where did I have that? I had it in the green, I believe. Not quite in the right spot. But you know what? Good enough. Alright, so that gives us a bit of a glow. There. How do we look from the ground? Alright. I can work with that. Where the heck are we gonna put our sign actually? Like, I feel dumb calling it Cave of Wonders. But because it's not really. I don't know. Cave of Critters. The sign doesn't really matter. What would you call this boat ride?
Hmm?
What would you call the boat ride?
What's it going to?
It's going past the Dwarf Caimans, the red crown cranes, the capybaras, and the European deer.
Okay, if it weren't for the European deer, I would say Jungle Cruise, but European deer kind of doesn't sell that.
Well, cappies aren't in the jungle either, really.
Yeah, but who the hell knows? You know? Yeah, I don't know then.
Cave of Wonders. Mystical Caves.
Capybara Caverns?
But it's not just cappies.
What do they know?
I mean, they're gonna know on the ride. And the other side, you're really only gonna see the deer. No, you do see the cranes too. That's right. Yeah, you see the cranes too. When, you know, they're not all over on the other side. Or are they sleeping? Oh, they're in there somewhere. I don't know. I guess we can call it Cappy Caves. We'll call it Temple Cavern. There we go. Alright. Let's flip this back to daytime. So the flip from dark to light's a bit worse than the light to dark. So if you are sensitive, you're going to want to look away. In 3, 2, 1. Look away. Okay. We are back to daylight. Alright, I completely forgot about the wagon parking area I was gonna do. That should be more than big enough. Oh, there was one... Should I put a faux floor in here? I kind of don't want to. It's gonna be all kinds of a headache. Maybe we just leave it. Like, it's fine. Alright. We're gonna need a faux... Well, I could use the temple pieces. Like, that is an option. Alright. So, come into here, we'll come into here. Do I want a rounded edge? There's very little of the ride that's rounded. I mean, that little exit doodle's rounded, but the rest of it is pretty much squared off. So you can like come a little bit onto the pathway, I think, and we'll be fairly okay. Like, I'm not gonna make this a huge little section here. Should I do it too deep? It would eat up some real estate here. Okay, let me put you to... Yes, okay. So there is that. Now, let me... walls, arches... Alright, so... You need to be... that color. Alright, and then there. And then there. Okay. So... Okay. Keep looking back over at that because I had that piece, scenery piece, so... Like, that would have made my life so much easier. But, let's see. Which stone was I using? Might have been this guy, actually. Alright, so I need to make your that color. Okay, we're gonna kind of try to encase you. in the material. No, no. There we go. Alright. That's fairly good there. Except I am running into a slight issue of this. So I can either do another big guy to cover it, which I mean would probably work. I mean, you can kind of see the patching there, but once we get everybody sorted here, I think we'll be okay. Alright, so there's that. Okay. So you, my friend, to get you. Oh boy, you are a flickery mess, aren't you? Wow. It's like a disco rave. Holy cow. Okay, can I like put you up there in the rafters? 'Cause, oh my. So I put you two there. And then so you can actually go a little bit further over. And then you. Oh, it's just slightly not straight, but you know what? Well, it was good enough. Okay. So now, where was that other... I think it was over at the bear caves. I called it stroller, but I put wagon slash stroller parking. Excuse me, did I actually say stroller parking on the other side? And we'll just ignore the fact that it's wagons and not strollers. I mean, I can change it to wagon parking. Just wagon parking sounded odd. No, I did stroller parking there too. Okay. I do need to borrow you. Okay, that was just like a weird signboard. Okay. Like, I'm not gonna put a whole bunch in there, but a couple might not be a very bad idea. I'll tell you, we get this place chat. I'm surprised I don't have more people over here looking at the cheetahs, but we get this place jazzed up. Get some elephants in here. I don't know which elephants yet, so. Alright. Stands. Wall sign. Custom settings. Okay, I think that's the one that's on the side of the wagons. That's the one that we used over yonder. This is kind of like the temple-y. What do I want to? Yeah, it's kind of tall. Maybe we should like kind of put it there. Perhaps. I don't. That might be too low. But it needs to be low enough for people to see it. Although they're... I mean... Can I not change the coloring on this guy? I mean, that would be like a good height. That's text color only, really. I mean, you definitely blend in. ST R. Huh? Oh no. No, no. No. That's not gonna do it. I guess that's more for like open. welcome. Okay. Stroller. Parking. That's very hard to see. Oh, wait, we can change that. Oh, no, no, no. No, we can't. I clicked the wrong thing. Okay, so light on that. So that is... Some of these fonts just are hard to read. That feels blurry. Why? Why do you feel blurry? The whole thing feels blurry. Or maybe it's me. I wish we could do one word on top of each other. That would make a bunch more sense. But you know, things are what they are. And then I can click the right arrows here. This guy. I'm okay with some of that. Kind of poking through the sign a little bit. Oh, that's not gonna do though. There's a little too much poking through. Okay, now I do want to bring you over to here. You can kind of have that like it's being supported by that. And then you, just to make sure I've got you all the same sort of height. Okay. Because we know they're never all in here straight. They're gonna be all sorts of crooked. Okay. Now. Oop, done with you. Okay. Chanel, you need your... You need your little sign guy. And you are going to drive me crazy. Now I have no idea what numbers I've already used without going to the back to check. You know what? I should make this easy on myself. We're gonna... If I do it this way, I'm gonna have to put the sign on every single one. This one. Okay, so I'm going to give these guys like triple digit. I don't think that's the right shade of brown, but that's okay. Wagon number 302. Not sure how I worded it on the other wagon now that I think about it. Did I have it as rental? I I should probably go check. 3. Oh no. Seriously? Because I'm an idiot. I mean, it's not a bad fix, but yeah, you know what? I should probably go check before I go too far. To see if I did that as wagon number or rental number. It didn't really sink in. Oh no, rental wagon number. Okay. Okay. Rental wagon. Okay. So that was rental wagon. Okay. That means that the signs on all of these I have to flip around because I messed them up. So wagon. Okay, but still probably not all that bad. Okay. Peak. All around. Rental wagon. Why don't you do the number sign? Okay. 289. Okay. And we'll do this guy. Rental wagon. 89. Alright, I didn't turn the fan off. My fingers are freezing now. Okay. And we will flip you. Well, you are slightly off the side there. Okay. How many do I have in here? Yeah, we got a couple. Okay. So, let's see. Rental. Wagon. 110. I literally have no idea what numbers I have already used, but I don't believe I was doing triple digits yet. Rental wagon. I'm gonna have to go and make a list. If we add any more of these. I mean, this isn't on the workshop and it probably won't ever be. Because it's my hot mess disaster. Don't know if I'll ever get it completely finished either. Especially not before Planet Zoo 2 comes out. Rental wagon. I don't know, 164. Like, it shouldn't be that difficult. But it totally is. Alright, so rental wagon 64. And I need to fix this. Okay. And that. And rental wagon 215. And then we'll get this one. If I can click the right buttons. Rental wagon 215, and then I have to spin this guy because I forgot and put it on backwards. Okay. And we've got one more exciting thing to do here. Rental wagon. 105. Oh, it didn't take. Right, I didn't hit enter. Let's try that again. Rental wagon. I don't think I've used these numbers so far. Again, it probably doesn't matter all that much. If it was going on workshop, I'd be a little more diligent about it. And a little more writing all of the numbers I've used down so far. Okay. Alrighty. So there's that. Okay, now I need to fix our hedging. Okay, so you guys, because I'm pretty sure I had you doubled up in here somewhere. Well, I did have you doubled up. Which are being weird, so... You know what? Good enough. Give me... Fuel? And fuel. don't think I'm going to do another light pole right there. I mean, I did just like put one in. I do have one here. I am probably going to want another one right here, though. Okay, you kind of make a small adjustment with. Alrighty. Now I'm gonna take the lighting back down to dark times, so bear with me here. And you're gonna want to look away in 3, 2, 1. Okay, we are back into the darkness, so you can go ahead and look again. Okay. I am going to flip you. Yep, set down. That's well, I can't even see my little light friend here. Okay. That's probably decent. Let me duplicate that. Okay, signs lit up there. Alright. Your other master copy is down there, so I can go ahead and get rid of that. Alrighty, I'm not quite ready to bother lighting all that in there. Oh, wait. Did I need to? Well, I didn't really need to do that back in there. Okay. So, what time is it? Alright, next week, let me throw us back into daytime here. So you're going to want to look away if you are sensitive to the flash. In 3, 2, 1, look away. Alright, we are back down to daytime. You can look back. Alright, so the front of the queue and everything, exit line, enter line, we are good. This looks like a whole different space now, doesn't it? It's amazing what some bushes can do. Okay, so got entrance, exit, building, good. Next week. Next week, we will start to work on our cave here. Why does that look like that is a completely... Because it is. That's better. At least it looks like it's friends now. We will start to work on our cave area underneath here. Don't know if I'm going to... Oh, what is happening here? Why? Why are you being angry? Will you behave now? I mean, that piece shows, but I don't think it matters. Because we're gonna have the cave in here. Oh, we still have to do our cave sign. Our ride sign. We'll do the ride sign and we'll start to work on the cave itself next week. I might like bump the outer cave wall here back just a little bit just to put in some more like reeds or cattails or maybe some stalactites kind of things over here just to kind of fill in that space. And we will start kind of trying to figure that mess out and how I want to frame our viewing areas from the ground and what I want to do with our signs. If I kind of tilt the rock cave roof a little bit, I might not have to touch the signs, or I might have to like drop them to the ground level. Don't know yet. We will see. For our temple cavern area. Like, I'm hesitant to drop them all the way to the ground because then you can't really see much. Like, that might be a slight issue. We still need to put the cranes or the deer in, but I think I want to at least start to work on the cave first. And at least get like up to here figured out. Or, you know, we could just take it up to the station building here. And then double back and work on the deer. And try to maybe copy and paste at least the station. I'm not going to be able to reuse the queue exactly because it's a different shaped queue and different shaped exit. But maybe I can at least try to copy most of the building and try to slip that into place maybe. Hopefully for that, but we're a little bit removed from that situation happening anytime soon, and I actually don't know what's gonna go over on this side. We've got the deer there. I guess I could, like, have this pathway go in a slightly different direction. And maybe we could have... I don't know. I don't know, because as I was starting to say that... I think what we're gonna do is maybe do a bathroom here. Maybe do another stroller parking area here. And then maybe a restaurant here. And then possibly do elephants behind the restaurant somewhere back in here. We certainly have enough room. The corner is down there by that tree. We've got plenty of room that way. I didn't do much planning with this. I was just kind of winging it. So I kind of didn't lay out where the letters were gonna go. I'm now realizing where that could be. An issue. So D is for deer. We could maybe do E is for elephants here. D. E. Where's my spreadsheet? That's a good question. Where is my spreadsheet? Okay. Okay. E is for elephant. So F I have 2 flamingo species, a whole bunch of frogs, a couple of foxes to choose from, and whatever a fossa is. What is that? Is that a cat? F-O... What the fuck is this? Slender cat-like build with a tail as long as its body. So it kind of looks like a cross between a rat that's the size of a cat. Honestly. So, I mean, maybe we do, like, a restaurant with elephant viewing. And then maybe I can do flamingos here. And then they can see the flamingos from the other side of the river ride. And then that'll make that section not feel so empty. I mean, that's a solid option, I think. I think that might work. This all started out with me wanting to do a petting zoo, and I still haven't gotten to it yet. I do remember that. I'm like, oh yeah, let's do like a whole like barnyard petting zoo. We could have it be in like the middle of the zoo, and I still haven't done it. And I don't know where that's going to go. because this has morphed into a totally different beast since then. For sure. I mean, worst case scenario, could always do the petting zoo at the front. On like that side, that's an option. For sure. But yeah, so I mean, we kind of have a tentative plan. Kind of, sort of. That might work out, maybe. We still also need to cover the viewing pathway up here. Like, we've got a lot of work ahead of us. And I also need to work on back of the house here. This might involve some speed building off stream, maybe. It depends on what my schedule looks like and if I get everything else caught up that I am working on. We will see. So, I'm still pretty happy with where we are at the moment. Twilight brick. I'm like, isn't this the same? No. It is not the same brick. Alright. But so far, I think we're looking decent on this build. So, that's gonna do it for this weekend. I will see everybody again on Tuesday for Dinkum. Now they are predicting some squirrely weather for us on Tuesday, and it says PM angry skies. I'm more worried about the boy being trouble than anything. So we will play Tuesday by ear because I don't know the timing on that yet. It could be like 2 in the afternoon and be done. It could be like 10 p.m., 11 p.m., midnight. That could be a problem. If it's after midnight, whatever. So we're gonna have to play Tuesday by ear. I either am gonna have to start earlier in the evening, or we might have to cancel Tuesday. We will see. Make sure you're following on Blue Sky, and because I will post there if I have to cancel for any reason, whether life lifed me too hard or weather or whatever. So make sure you're following over there. There's a link to that down below. There is also a link to Ko-fi. I have a bit of an art gallery there for things that I have done. Also a way for people to support the stream that don't want to support it through Twitch. That is also an option available to you. There is also a link to the YouTube channel. Feel free to subscribe over there. It is free to subscribe on the YouTube channel. All of the live streams are archived over there. And there was also stuff that shows up that we didn't live stream, like some game playthroughs. There is also some art projects and speed paints that we didn't live stream that will pop over there from time to time as well. So I hope everybody has a good weekend. Stay safe, everybody. Thank you for checking the stream out tonight. And sorry to whoever I offended that decided not to follow anymore. Sorry about that. And until next time, have a good one.